Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Nadeem from GRK College. Today we are starting the new chapter, chapter number 3, periodic table and periodicity of properties. Class 9th, chapter number 3. My topic is what was the need of classification of elements, or it can also be why elements were classified. What was the need of the systematic arrangement of elements? So, this can be any such type of question. So, we have observed that we have discussed that up to the end of 18th century. Up to the end of 18th century, only 23 elements were known to scientists. Similarly, then up to 1870, 65 elements were known. Then up to 1925, 88 elements were known. But nowadays round about 109 elements are known. But there are some elements which are synthetically produced, they are not mentioned here. So what was my first question is, this is actually the start of this chapter. The answer to this question is given at the start of the chapter, and you may start from this history that up to 18th century 23 elements were known, then by 1870 65 or 9, then by 1925 88 elements were known. Nowadays there are 109 or more elements are known. So, for example, let me start with what was the need of the classification. Systematic arrangement of elements was one of the need of the elements. As the time passed, number of elements were increasing. Similarly, one element can form a large number of compounds, so their complete study was becoming impossible. So there was a need to classify them on the basis of some similarity in their properties. So the scientists classified the elements, and by classification it becomes easy to or comprehensive to study them. For example, let me take the first group of the periodic table, eliminating the hydrogen, which is the non-metal. Let's say lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. These are 6 elements. These constitute the group 1A of the periodic table. We have placed them in a single group. Why? Because they have identical or roundabout similar chemical properties. If we study the chemistry of lithium or sodium, this means we have studied the chemistry of the whole group. So then there is no need to go for the others if you learn at least the one. So in this way, the study of elements and their compounds became easy. So this was one of the need of the classification of elements. And so for example, when you study one element, you can predict the properties of the rest of the elements. So this was the answer to the first question, that what was the need of the classification of elements. Now let me proceed towards my next topic, which is the periodic table. What is periodic table, and what are the elements of the periodic table and what are the groups and periods in periodic table. Similarly, we will discuss them in detail. So my next topic is periodic table. What is periodic table? Actually, periodic table is a table in which elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. By this arrangement, we get various groups of the elements, and all the elements lying in a single group, they have similar chemical properties. So in this way, we have classified the elements into groups, and their study become easy. We can predict their properties, but there is a need which will be or what should be the basis of classification of elements. We should classify elements, but what should be the basis for classification of elements? So there must be a fundamental property which will be definitely the basis of classification of elements. So this achievement goes to Moseley in 1913. Moseley was a chemist, and in 1913 he arranged the elements on the increasing order of their atomic number. So atomic number, which is the number of protons present in the nucleus or the number of total electrons present in a neutral atom, it is represented by Z. So atomic number is the basis of the classification of elements, which was done by the Moseley. And now let me define what is periodic table. What is periodic table? So periodic table is a table obtained by the systematic arrangement of elements into groups. So whenever we arrange the elements into groups systematically on the basis of increasing atomic number, we get a periodic table. And similarly, Moseley also put forward a law which is known as modern periodic law or Moseley law. And according to him, when elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic numbers, similar elements are repeated after definite intervals. This means the physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers. So Moseley arranged the elements like, for example, this is lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. Similarly, below lithium we have sodium, beryllium. Below the beryllium we have beryllium, magnesium, boron, aluminium, carbon, silicon, nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur, fluorine, chlorine, neon, argon. This was the classification of elements made by Moseley on the increasing order of atomic number. So modern periodic law is defined as when the elements are arranged in their increasing order of their atomic number, the chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic number. This means when we arrange the elements in increasing order of atomic number, for example, hydrogen has atomic number 1, helium has 2, lithium has 3, beryllium 4, boron 5, carbon 6, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, neon 10, sodium 11, magnesium 12, aluminium 13, silicon 14, phosphorus 15, sulfur 16, chlorine 17, and argon 18. So this is the increasing order of atomic number. And I have arranged these elements. Now look at here. Sodium lies below the lithium. Magnesium lies underneath the beryllium. Similarly, aluminium lies below the boron. Silicon lies below the carbon, phosphorus, nitrogen. All of them have identical chemical properties. So this is called periodic function. For example, let me say that for example, this is the largest, it has the largest size, and this is the, it has the smallest size. So size decreases progressively. Similarly, ionization energy increases progressively. Electronegativity increases progressively. From top to bottom, the size increases, and from left to right, the size decreases. So all the properties, they have a special pattern, and they systematically changes when we move along a period or group. So this means that the properties of the elements are the periodic function. Periodic function means something which repeats itself. For example, let me let us take the properties of the beryllium. After beryllium, when we go ahead, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, then magnesium again repeats the properties of beryllium. Similarly, calcium lies below the magnesium, and calcium then repeats the properties of the above. So here the chemical properties are repeated again and again, and such an event or occurrence which repeats itself after definite intervals, after definite you can say lapse of time or place, it is said to be periodic function. Periodic function is the repetition of a property after regular intervals. So you know the properties of the beryllium are repeated by the magnesium. Similarly, calcium repeats the property of this. Similarly, aluminium repeats the properties of boron, silicon repeats the properties of carbon, phosphorus repeats the properties of nitrogen. So in this periodic table, properties, for example, let me take not only the chemical properties, but the size, electronegativity, ionization potential, shielding effect, many properties are repeated at definite intervals. So this is called modern periodic law, and this is also called the periodicity of properties. Now my topic is periods and groups of periodic table. You can see this topic on the page 43. What is a period and what is a group? Actually, we have discussed that periodic table is a table obtained by the systematic arrangement of elements into groups and periods, or groups and subgroups. The basis of classification of elements is atomic number, and modern periodic table, it has been constructed on the basis of increasing order of atomic number. So by arrangement or systematic arrangement of elements, periodic table is obtained, and there are some horizontal rows in periodic table. Horizontal rows in periodic table are called periods. Look at me here. This is the periodic table. The periodic table of elements. Look at this row, for example. This is the row. This is another row. This is another row. This is the first row, which is just composed of two elements. So all these are the horizontal rows of the elements present in periodic table are called periods. These are called periods. If you see here, it has been written that period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are total of 7 periods in periodic table. So first of all, let me discuss what are the periods in periodic table. You know, this is the first period. It comprises just two elements, hydrogen and helium. This is called extremely short period. It is just composed of hydrogen with atomic number 1 and helium with atomic number 2. Hydrogen has the lightest element in the periodic table, and similarly the helium is the also very smallest element. So the period number 2 and 3 are called short period. Okay. Period number 2 starts from lithium with atomic number 3, proceed to beryllium with atomic number 4, then boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So the second period starts from lithium and ends at neon. Lithium has atomic number 3 and neon has atomic number 10. So this is called the second period and it is called short period. The first period is called extremely short period. The second and third are called, these two periods are called short periods, just short periods. The first is called, first period which is composed of just two elements, it is called extremely short period. And period number 2 and 3 are called short periods. So the third period starts from sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and ends at argon. So the third period starts from sodium and ends at argon. Both second and third periods have each 8 elements each. Both periods have 8 elements. Remember that if you have learned the the electronic configuration of elements. So according to electronic configuration of elements, s orbital can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. So on the basis of 2 electrons in s orbital, this block has been created. These two are called s block elements. This is called p block. These elements are called, they belong to, this block is the p block, this block is the d block and this block is the f block. So f, d, p and s. So all the periodic table, the whole periodic table is divided into various blocks on the basis of orbital in which the last electron enters. For example, this is s block. Why it is s block? Because last or ultimate electron goes into s orbital in case of these elements. These have 1 electron in s orbital, these have 2, and similarly d orbital can accommodate 10 electrons. So these elements are d block elements. In this row is 10 elements. p orbital can accommodate maximum of 6 electrons. So these are the 6 elements lying here. So now let us proceed towards the fourth period. Fourth period starts from potassium and ends at krypton. So there are 2 s block, 10 d block and 6 p block. So total of 18 elements are there. This is called long period, the first long period. Then the second long period starts from rubidium and ends at xenon. It also have 18 elements. The sixth period starts from cesium, barium, then lutetium, lanthanum. After this is the atomic number 70. This is atomic number 56. You can see this. Cesium, barium. After barium, this barium has atomic number 56, but lutetium has 71. So where are the rest of the elements? Actually, rest of the elements are these. Look at this, atomic number 56, then lanthanum 57, 58, 59, and ytterbium have atomic number 70. So actually these elements, in these elements the last electron enters into f orbital. So that's why they have been placed in a separate period. So this period contained 2 s block, 14 d block, 14 f block, 10 d block and 6 p block elements. So 14 plus 10, 24, 24 plus 6, 30 plus 2. So there are 32 elements in this period. This is called the longest period. This is called the longest period. The last or 7th period starts from francium, then radium, and after radium has atomic number 88. Now look at here, actinium has atomic number 89. So when you reaches the radium, then come here actinium. So look at these two periods. This period starts from lanthanum, lanthanum. It is called lanthanide series. This period starts from actinum. This is called actinide series. And the last element has atomic number 102, 102, and now lawrencium has 103. So in between these two elements, these 14 elements are lying. Okay, so the last electron enters into f orbital and these elements, that's why they have been placed separately here. So this is called lanthanide series, this is called actinide series, and the chemistry of this last period is actually incomplete. You can see there the elements which are present in these in this last period, their chemistry is still incomplete. So that's why this period is called incomplete period. The 6th period is the longest period of the overall periodic table. So this was about something the periods in periodic table. Now we are going to discuss the groups. So you must remember the definition of period. I have discussed that horizontal rows present in the periodic table, which are constructed on the basis of increasing order of atomic number, they are called periods. So horizontal rows of the elements in periodic table are called periods. Now we are going to discuss the groups. You know, look at this vertical column, which is some pinkish brown color, some maroon color. This is the vertical column, starts from hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So this is called group. What are the groups? The vertical columns in periodic table are called groups. If you want to memorize the names of the elements, you can easily have some shortcuts. For example, Hai, Lela, Ne, Ki, Rab, Se, Faryad. Similarly, this is the 2nd period, which beryllium, which contain beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. बड़े मगरमच्छ का सर बाहर रहा. So forget about, for time being, these elements, forget about D block. Come here. This is called group 1A, capital and Roman. Capital A and Roman 1. 1A, this is called 2A, this is called 3A, this is called 4A, group 5A, group 6A, group 7A, group 8A. So these are this P block and S block, these are called normal or representative elements. These are called normal or representative elements. So S block and P block combinedly constitute normal or representative elements. The D block and F block elements are called transition elements. If you further explain it, these are called outer transition elements, these are called inner transition elements. Okay, these two are combinedly called what? Transition elements. Then these are called outer transition elements. The F block elements are called inner transition elements. The P block and S block, these are collectively called what? Normal elements or representative elements.